This is TWiT.
I'm going to really quick show off the Pixel 4a 5G. I actually just got this earlier today. And thankfully, I've already opened the Pixel 5. I have one of those right here. I also happen to have the Pixel 4a right here. So what you're looking at right now is literally the entire 2020 release family of Pixel devices. And I mean, they're all going to look so much the same. I don't care about anything else that's in the box. What I really care about is this. And side by side, so you've got the 4a 5G in the center. You've got the 5 on the right and the 4a on the left. And you can see the 4a 5G is just a little bit larger by comparison. This is $500 for the 4a 5G compared to $700 for the Pixel 5. And there's some similarities between the two. The 4a 5G has the same Snapdragon 765G processor that's in the Pixel 5, also the same processor that's in your the Wing that you just opened, and it's a 6.2 inch 1080p OLED display, only 60 hertz here, so you're not getting the higher hertz, the higher refresh rate that you get on the Pixel 5, the 90 hertz. And then it's a plastic back by comparison with the Pixel 5, which has the aluminum backing, which I think it's kind of interesting going back to aluminum. Kind of like, gosh, suddenly there's plastic again and there's aluminum again that I'm kind of getting used to. Which one do I like more between the two? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the aluminum has a nice feel to it, but the Pixel 4a 5G, yeah, I don't know. It's too early to tell. On the back, they look very, very similar. And this is kind of ties in with what we were talking about leading up to the phone announcement, which is that all these phones, like, they share the same design language. In my mind, they would be the same device, just different. You know what I mean? The same the same family, the Pixel 5 or the 5 Max or the 5 Mini or whatever you want to call it. But instead, you've got a couple of them still locked into the 4 generation, and then the one on the right locked into the 5 generation, which is just a little strange to me, I suppose.
Honestly, I would love to get someone on from Google to talk about that, to hear how they justify that or how they make sense of that, because it just seems so odd. And if it's a way to not diminish from the 5 to drive 5 sales, but I just find it immensely confusing. So yeah,
it is confusing.
For me, it's even more confusing that the 4 5G is bigger than the 5. So you seem to go backwards from that.
Yeah, totally.
Usually the highest number is the biggest one.
And not only that, but it's got both numbers. It's the 4a 5G, right? So that's confusing too, because it's like, because technically it's 9 if you add them all up. So it's but
that's why it's bigger.
What a mess, Google.
Maybe.
Yeah. I will say though, Jason, on that tip, you weren't here last week, but I've got my 4A. My 4A came in, and it's been my daily driver for about a week now, and I am loving it. So I do love the 4A. So
Did you have a Pixel before?
No, I had a 1. The last Pixel I had was the Pixel 1, I think. I had a used Pixel 1. But no, I've been on a OnePlus 7 Pro for a little over a year now, I think, before that. So and before that I was on the OnePlus 7T, or 6T, I forget, but I was on the OnePlus train for the past year or two. So back on the Pixel.
Yeah. That would be the one Pixel I would consider getting, would be the 4A right now. Mm-hmm. Just for development purposes, because it's cheaper and it's like, Google will support it for a long time, so it's a good choice to get right now.
We didn't. Yeah, if I missed it. Sorry, but Joe, what phone is your daily driver? What phone is your go-to phone?
I'm still using the Pixel 3 right now because I mostly use Pixel.
Best.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
it really is.
Yay, me too.
A lot of these. Yeah, cool. So if all of these other phones have all of these different restrictions that the vendors implement, and I really don't like them because they kill apps in the background indiscriminately, and Pixel tends to not do that as much, so I stick with that. Yeah. And I really don't see a big reason to upgrade to any other Pixel right now. But yeah, as I said, the 4A is probably the good choice right now because it has a longer support time than my Pixel 3.
Yeah, and it's incredibly inexpensive.
Exactly.
You know, just in general, and even compared to the others, the steps, you know, and price difference. Like I've been using the Pixel 5 now for a couple of days, and yeah, I find myself really kind of conflicted on it. Strangely, like, you know, it's got the 765G processor in it, which when I used the OnePlus Nord seemed perfectly sufficient. I felt like everything flew on it, but I do feel on the Pixel 5 like I'm waiting for things. Like it's a different experience that I'm having using the Pixel 5 than it was the Nord, even though it was the same processor. I'm also having some really strange issues with my network connectivity on the Pixel 5. I'm actually in contact with Google right now, trying to figure out if it's the network issue, if it's the phone. Maybe I got a bad phone in the batch or what. But like I'll go to make a call and it'll instantly fail, and the only way that I can fix that is to restart. I'll go to send an SMS message because I do that sometimes, and I wouldn't say it fails every time, but often I'll send it and it'll just stall and it won't do anything. And then eventually I'll reboot the phone and it'll send through. Like, so that kind of makes me wonder, all right, is that the network? I'm not sure it is, because I can put the SIM in another phone and everything works fine. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that's a wider issue than just maybe this device is a lemon and I'll get a different one to see about it. But I would say this is the first generation of Pixel where I'm not immediately like convinced that the highest end version of it is the one that I need. I feel I will be surprised, or I'll be interested to see how I feel about the 4A 5G. Size wise, it feels a little bit better for me than the smaller form factor, which I appreciate the smaller form factor of the 5 and the 4A, but I think as my absolute daily driver, I'm just more comfortable on a taller phone. And so I might end up finding that the middle of the range is the one that is for me. And that's totally fine. I might even find that the OnePlus 8T is my device. I don't know, you know, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll undoubtedly have a lot more about these phones, but it's kind of cool to have the entire family on one table. There you go. There they are. All of them.